Good morning, everyone. Today is May the 5th, 2021. This is StockCast, your pre-market show. My name is James Mason. With me is Todd Derby. Todd, how you doing this morning?
I am doing well. Good morning to you and to our listeners. Wish we had some music that we could queue up that would play Groundhog Day, because I feel like we're in a Groundhog Day mode.
Yeah, pretty much everything's the same pre-market every morning, and that is, hey, guys, low volume, no news.
So with that, remind people to hit the like button and subscribe. Helps build our audience, helps build the information. So I think if we're not looking at tickers, maybe it's time to hit Cinco de Mayo early today and get it started.
I don't know. We're going to start talking about other stuff like, I don't know, relationship advice, things like that.
We can do that.
We just give advice.
We can become life coaches.
Yeah. I'll be a life coach. That'd be fun.
Hello, caller. What's your problem?
I'm like, okay, bro, you just need to leave her and go meet her friend. I'm just saying right now.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. If you want to date the sister, go ahead.
Yeah. No one's going to look down on you.
Well, they might initially, but after a month or so, when the other brother F's up, don't worry. You'll be long forgotten about.
Yeah. Man. That'd be, we get worse advice. All right, let's get into it, guys. All right. So pre-market Dow futures are currently up 78 points. S&P 500 up 15 points. We're probably going to come out today a little sideways, and I'm kind of expecting it to probably pull back just a little bit, and then I'm looking at one of my other charts right now, but kind of expecting the Dow futures to pull back just a little bit out the gates and then probably bounce and create another all-time high or something. That just seems to be what it does. All right. So we really don't have nothing great to give out to watch, but I can show y'all what not to catch FOMO in. So let's take a look at ticker ATNX. So we can see this daily chart on ticker ATNX and this major gap down right there. And it just chopped around. And then currently pre-market, we are at 484. So we did gap up a little bit, up 30%, but we were higher a little while ago. And looking at the 5-minute chart, you can see right here, got as high as up to 592. Now, when you see these plays start to set up, for instance, yesterday with this taking the after hours run, obviously this thing pushed up off of some sort of news, and that news yesterday was that they had acquired some smaller therapeutics company to expand their cell therapy development. Really, in the gist of things, that's just kind of like whatever news. You would have been scaling in, down in this range for it to been worth your time or your money. But when you have a major gap down like this, and then it's going sideways, this actually is not enough time of it trending sideways to really justify a significant gap up like that. When you have a gap up like what happened this morning, it's just going to pull back down and end up being a fader. So what this is going to end up looking like is this will open up, have a strong red candle going back down here. It's going to get right back into its little range, chop around sideways, might make a little bit more of a push in the future. Up, it will get rejected, come back down, probably end up creating new lows, and then it'll eventually start working its way up. But overall, this thing, before it really starts to turn itself around, it's just going to need more time to come off of this significant gap down. a lot of people, when they see gap downs like this, and then they see that it's been pretty much just 2 months, they start to think, oh, okay, it's about time. It's actually not about time. For something that significant, we're talking 4 to 6 months before it actually starts to fix itself, I guess to say. And then you'll start to hear people talk about, oh, well, it has a gap to fill. You know, it could easily, push back up here. That's just not how it happens. So this thing's it's like building blocks, or you're building some kind of foundation that requires blocks. You're just not gonna start at the very bottom and build straight to the top just by stacking all the blocks singular and just making it run straight up. You're gonna have to build that foundation in a series of steps. And it's the same way with stocks. Major gap down, so you have to start building those steps here. And we start off to build those steps with it needs to go sideways and essentially get over its baggage from what happened here. We have to put enough time between what happened here and in the future. It's just like, as odd as this is going to say, it's just like dealing with somebody who comes off of a bad relationship. If they come off of a bad relationship, you can't expect them to jump back into a relationship and things be well with them. No, they need some time. They need a lot of time before they can start building those steps back up in their lives to be able to get back to where they were. Same thing here. We need some time, a lot more time. People are going to get smoked in this ticker by trying to chase FOMO, thinking it's going to, break above this range right here at like 590 again, and then just start pushing up to fill this gap. Sorry, guys. It's too soon. Just be careful and watch out for people pushing information like that. And that is ticker ATNX.
Take a look at a mover that's moved in the last few minutes. VERU, Victory, Echo, Romeo, Umbrella.
Let's see. Okay, so they just announced positive phase 2 clinical data. Last update on short interest, 1.9 million shares being shorted, 3.3% of the float. Shares outstanding, 78.4 million shares. The float, 57.5. And hold on a second. All right. So obviously a decent gap up since yesterday, but again, this is another one of those that you'd had to been in it, scaling in already. The share structure is, it's okay. I personally wouldn't have been looking at it due to the share structure and the PPS value as of yesterday, which was 870. I'd rather look at, if I was going to do a catalyst play like this, I'd rather look at the ones that have catalysts between $1 and $3, just because I can make more profit. But anyways, this one released its catalyst, it gapped up, and that's really probably the extent that it's going to run. So it hit a pre-market high of 1165. Let's go back to the daily chart real quick.
This could be an all-day fader.
I'm going to have to say so as well. Let me draw a line out for everyone. 1165. Just put it right there. All right, so this would be where our pre-market high went. Now, you have to look. I mean, it jumped from 870 on up to 1165. Again, it's just too soon. For these gap ups to actually hold and work, these candlesticks have to trend sideways for a while. I mean, look at this slope right here. The slope literally just had ended, and then it's going to gap up. That doesn't even, that doesn't even make sense. Like in the terms of looking at the flow of candlesticks. And this is one thing that I look at a lot when I'm breaking down my charts. When was the last time that it just ran or just came off of a sell-off? And here we are. I mean, we're literally just at the bottom of a sell-off, and then it gaps up. It's just not going to be practical that it holds. Now, had this thing trended sideways for probably another month or more and then gapped up, I'd have took it more serious as looking at it to take a bullish position. But this thing will probably just play around within this range, and then, like Todd just said, it will just turn into a fader more likely the rest of the day. And then we also have earnings coming up on the 12th, and that can influence it a lot. That is ticker VERU.
They're actually going to show the results in a conference call on the 8th. So the news today is really trying to build some momentum going into that. And what we don't know is the news good or bad? Is what they're going to share. They trying to build it up to get a little price pop to an offering, or is the news so good that it's going to pop it and hold it?
All right, so I'm just going through the comments really quick.
Someone's asking about ROKU. You want to talk about ROKU?
Oh God,
Is that still on our banned list?
Yeah, ROKU's on my no trade list. I'll talk about it. Hate this ticker. All right, ROKU, ticker ROKU. So currently we have a little pre-market push in ROKU right now. We're up a little over 1.5%, which for a ticker of this PPS value, that's significant. So yesterday we closed out at 319.59, and we are currently at 324.50. Let me see something real quick. I would not get too caught up in trying to chase ROKU long at the moment right now. Got earnings on the 6th, so tomorrow. And a lot of it's going to be dependent on what it does with their earnings. So one thing I hate to do is really just break down the chart right before earnings. Because if I'm just going to be honest, anything I say about a technical analysis with the chart and then it hits its earnings, it's going to be irrelevant. It's just literally a gamble. It's a flip of a coin. And with the setup right now in ROKU, the earnings it's just going to sound stupid, but it's literally going to make it gap up or gap down. And again, I know that sounds stupid. I hate to even say that. But that's just the truth. That's how earnings are. It's either going to just make it gap up or gap down, especially, a ticker like ROKU that is very popular. And if I was just going to keep a vague range to look at, those ranges would be, so we're currently sitting at 324.66. Let's see. All right. To be honest, I wouldn't start getting serious about looking at it to the bullish side until it got above 365.75 again. because you can see if it did push up right here, it breaks this downward momentum, and then more likely it would go up and test this right at $400 range. And then obviously if we broke that $400 range, we'd have the potential to go up here to about 450. That's just kind of in the realm of if they report something great. Now, if they report something bad, I would look to it on the bearish side once it breaks below 291.35. But what would probably happen if it gapped down that much is it would gap down and then actually have a green day. So it gap down somewhere in here or wherever it may be, and then it'll push a green candlestick up. It might do it for a few days and come up and test this 200 EMA and then eventually get rejected and then curl over and then start its trend down. So just generally speaking, that's just kind of how I have to view something right before earnings. And then I don't look at it until after it reports to see which direction it will take. So that is ROKU, ticker ROKU. So I saw another one in here, ticker AGTC. Let's take a look at that. All right, last update on its short interest, 3.25 million shares being shorted, almost 9% of the float, days to cover, 1 full day. Share structure, shares outstanding, 42.7 million shares. The float, 36.2. So I like that share structure. Let's see, just scanning their news real quick. So off the top, it does look like they do have some catalysts in the pipeline, and we're barely up pre-market here. So yesterday we closed out at 388. Currently we're at 394. We have earnings on May the 11th, but a lot of times in these small caps, when they're already down this lower dollar range, these earnings usually don't matter a lot of times. I mean, you can look back here. They actually missed on their earnings and it still went up. Same thing here as well. So earnings kind of really don't matter once you get down in these ranges. Now, what does matter is that overall share structure and the catalyst. So we do have catalysts on the horizon. We do see that it did push up back here a few months ago, and we'd have to find out the why. Why did it push up here? Which is probably in correlation to the current catalysts that are in the pipeline right now. So what I like to do is I'll back out on this daily chart just to kind of see a bigger picture, and go ahead and I'll start just drawing my trend lines. So I know I can put one right there at the highs, which is right around 980. And then I'm just going to come down, just draw a few more. All right, so for me to get serious with this, and again, this is like, I say getting serious with this. This is, let's just say in the realm of just straight technical analysis, not really digging into their catalysts. But if I was going to just trade this off of a technical setup, I'd have to see it break above $4.75. So you can see, we had this downtrend, it's going sideways, and if we slowly start curling back up and get back above that 475 range, you'll see that break in that downward momentum. And then we would have a range up to about that $6 range, maybe a little bit more. We'll probably get rejected the first time. It will come down, and then after that, to that second wave, come back up, break above that $6 range, and probably test this mid $7 range again. And that at that point will probably be dependent on the catalyst. So that is what I see for ticker AGTC. Let's see what else we got.
a whole lot more people are asking about. There's a couple of tickers that are alerts. Someone's asking about GEOVX. I think they had a FDA or a PDUFA something a couple days ago. Wonder if he's stuck in that or something.
See, GEOVX. It is. I'll be honest. GEOVX is forming a nice looking cup and handle. So, all right, if you guys look at these daily candlesticks, major run up right here, and then it's pulling back. So we start to see it come up right here. Test this range right at 875, and then it sold off. This is literally the setup that I was just talking about, telling you to watch out for on that last ticker, where I said it was probably going to come up and then touch that range and then get rejected, come back down, and then come back up and then bypass that $6 range and then settle up to about the mid sevens. This is literally the setup that I was talking about. So we see it, it's coming up, gets rejected, pulls back, and when it comes up again, what I would actually look for, and again, we are 2 points away from honestly breaking this high, but this high is a confirmation. And when you're trading, unless if you can keep scaling in, if you can't keep scaling in, you absolutely have to wait on confirmation every time. So this thing will probably kind of chop around, trend around, do whatever it's going to do, and then hopefully it will slowly push up and break that high. And the reason why I say that is if the movement happens too quickly or too soon, it's just going to pull back down. So we would need this thing to just kind of just trend sideways, not really move much, but slightly move up over the days, weeks to come. And then as it gets closer, and then boom, then we can break it. But right now, if for whatever reason it just ran 2 points, unless if you were in it right now and were cool with taking 2 points, which I absolutely would be, then, that would be whatever. But like, if you're going to wait for confirmation, and it jumping right now and then breaking above that confirmation, that's just too drastic of a move. It would pull down. So again, we need this thing to slowly go sideways and then break it at that point later on. And once with the cup and handle pattern, once you break these highs again, that's usually when it starts to sell up or take off and really sell strong on the daily chart and make these bullish runs again. And if you look back here, you can kind of see the same thing where you get that little cup. It comes down, it goes up, it rejects, comes down, and then it tried it right here, and then we didn't get close to the top of that cup part, but it made a little bullish push up and pull back slightly, and then boom, when it committed, it really shot up. That's what we would be looking for here with this play. And let's see. So this was last July. All right. So my overall target price on this would be right at $30, and that's like super high. I would not get my hopes up on that. But my true target range would be between $18 and $23 once we break that high of around $8.75. And again, anything can shift the momentum in any trade or in the market as a whole. So if you get into a trade like this and you're already profitable, just remember to keep moving your stop losses up. That way, once you get to the point to where your stop loss is higher than your entry price, it's a winning trade no matter what happens, and you can just let it run. So that is ticker GEOVX. And that is all I have for today.
Yeah, it's a slow day. slow day.
Yep.
All right. Well, enjoy the day. Be safe. Good trading, and be easy on the tequila today.
Yeah. Again, everyone, happy Cinco de Mayo, and really, if you're an American, we're the only people who celebrate that crap. So, like,
It's an excuse to drink.
Exactly. All right, everybody. So y'all take care. We appreciate y'all watching us talk about the market not doing nothing. And if you haven't yet, please give us a follow. We do this for follows and likes and comments. It's what gives us our motivation. It's like currency. So anyways, guys, trade safe, trade smart, and we will see y'all in the next one.